Hello again. My name is Sifu Aviano, and I am the instructor of Chinese Dragon Kempo Kung Fu. And it's good to be here with all of you once again. Today we're going to continue on the yellow belt curriculum. We started the yellow belt curriculum with the 4 basic blocks. And today we're going to add 3 additional blocks to these four basic blocks, and I refer to these are just 7 basic blocks of Chinese Dragon Kempo. And we're going to do the blocks in synchronicity, which in the next video will show you the blocking set. So let's review from last time. Last time I started out in a horse stance, and we always start in a horse stance whenever we're practicing. We are strengthening our legs. We're strengthening our hips. And remember to keep your hips not out, but tuck your hips in when you're in that horse stance. Nice straight posture. So the 4 basic blocks included up block, down block, inside block, outside block. And again, we'll do it up, up, down, down, inside, inside, outside, outside. And you see that it's right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And it follows that right-left sequence most of the time, not all the time. So it's just something that you have to remember as you're doing your sets, self-defense, whatever it is. There's a sense of you have to remember the sequence of movements. And again, what's good about that in any martial art is that you are building new neural networks as you are remembering putting breath, body motion, everything together. That's the beauty about martial arts. That's why I love studying martial arts, because it keeps me in shape physically, mentally, spiritually. Again, the 4 basic blocks: up, up, down, down, in, out, out. And look at this block. I'll bring a little bit closer to you. This block is what is referred to as, in Chinese Dragon Kempo, a wing block or a hook block. In some martial arts, it may be referred to as a wing because it looks like a wing. In Chinese Dragon Kempo Kung Fu, I refer to it as simply a hook block. This comes primarily from the Kung Fu system that I studied. Now this block is, again, it's going to come as close to the midline as possible, but it's not going to cross it. It's very difficult to cross this. What is the purpose of this block? Again, when you are twisting, it is a motion that is going to come. Again, if you can cross the midline when you're twisting, do it. If not, if you're tight, most likely it's only going to come to this particular point of where you are when you're in a horse stance. If you twist into an X, there's going to be more twisting into this particular block. This block is primarily used in motion. Anytime you're moving, you're going to use this block. It's not a block that's done primarily stationary. When we practice stationary, it's simply for the sake of moving and bending, practicing this block. Again, anything that comes within this area of you, height, that's really what it is. Out of your motions and movements, especially in Kung Fu, That's where your blocks, kicks, strikes come from, out of motion of movement. And in Chinese Dragon Kempo, it's a lot of motion and a lot of movements. So again, this is called the hook block. But again, it looks like a wing block because it's exactly the same thing. Again, my hands are open as I'm protecting my ribs and my lower kidney down here. And that's what it's called, the hook block. Again, it could be against anything like a kick. It could be against a strike of any sort, but it's just there to use it, as long as you know it's there. Again, a hook block. And so I get into my horse stance. Height, 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 height. And that's all it is, hook block. Excuse me. The next block comes directly out of Chinese Kempo. It's called a universal block. It's covering both high and low simultaneously. And again, you can see it crossing the midline, crossing the midline, crossing the midline. Anything that's getting in this area is getting swept away. You can practice it by simply standing up if you want. And this particular block is used a great deal in Chinese Kempo when I was learning in New York, and also within my system of Chinese Dragon Kempo Kung Fu. I incorporated it. It's very similar to the things that we also did in Kung Fu. Motions are very similar. What I love about Chinese Kempo is that the circles are small. In our Kung Fu, the circles were a little bit bigger, but as you get into a self-defense technique or fighting technique, the circles become much smaller. So again, let's practice this from a horse stance. Again, this is called the universal block. I'm going to start with my right, height, left, height, 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 height. And that is called the universal block. A little sip of water. In any type of art form that you execute, you got to stay as hydrated as possible with any athletic endeavor. Always stay as hydrated as possible, especially from speech and language standpoint. You want to hydrate your vocal cords as much as you possibly can, again, throughout the day, and and hydrate your body as well. Okay, the last block is called a double chop block or a double forearm block. And this comes directly out of Chinese Kempo. I really love this block. It's in a lot of the Chinese Kempo forms. This block, again, really can be a strike. Hut, 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 hut. It can be a strike, but it's really used as a block. Again, I call it a double chop block because you can use the knife ends portions of your hands, as you can see. And again, they're just bent just a little bit. Thumb is always tucked in. Hut, hut. And the purpose of it is if someone's coming around anything with the arm, with a weapon, you're using the chopping portions of your hands or, and I always say or, because you never know how big your opponent's going to be. Your hands are going to get the forearm here and the bicep. You don't want it to come around. You don't want to hit here at both sides, at the forearm. You want the forearm and the bicep so that the punch itself cannot come. You're blocking it. Now, if it's with your forearms, it's basically the same thing. Height, height, height. And again, these are great motions because you can contour up the arm and go wherever you want from there. That's what I love about the double chop block. And you can execute it any way you want. It sends you into a time, or you're able to, it gives you that opportunity to wrap, or basically just to follow through with any type of motion you want while you're defending yourself. Again, we'll do it from a horse stance. We're going to start from the left. Hut, 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 hut. And I don't have to chamber. Hut, hut. If I chamber, height, 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 height. And you can hear my breath as I explode out into the block. Hut, 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 hut. You can hear my breath as it's going in and out. That's the Ujjayi breath. Hut, hut, hut. Use your breath. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Hut, hut, hut. And these are a very quick expression when you're driving into that other person and you're executing the block or the strike. Let's review all of these blocks again from the horse stance. So it's up, block, down, block, inside, block, hook, block, universal, block, chop, block. Hut, 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 hut. And in our next lesson, we're going to put all those blocks together and we're going to form the second set, which is called, this is the third set that is called blocking set. And we'll do that in the next lesson. And then we're going to continue going with all of our sets, strike, punches, blocks, and then some more esoteric stuff we'll discover too on how to condition your hands through iron palm training, different types of push-ups, different types of things that you can squeeze. But until then, it was great being with you. My name is Sifu Aviano of Chinese Dragon Kempo, and peace be with you.